Polls are suggesting that Nigel Farage's party is gaining support as Labour loses voters. Bombshell polls have revealed where Reform UK would gain Labour seats across the country at a general election. More in Common released its first MRP of the new parliament, which revealed a dramatic shift in Britain's electoral dynamics. The model estimated that an election on December 28 would have produced a highly fragmented and unstable House of Commons, with 5 parties holding more than 30 seats, while Labour would still emerge on top, experts said. Sir Keir Starmer's party would have barely a third of the total number of seats that they won in July, and a lead of just 6 seats over the Conservatives. Reform UK, meanwhile, would have emerged as the third largest party on 72 seats. Stonehaven predicted in its MRP poll, released on January 3, that Reform UK would win 120 seats. The pollster said, for the first time, a combined Conservative-Reform bloc could realistically rival Labour's seat total, leaving the government's position far weaker than many expected. It added, while much of the post-election narrative has focused on the threat reform poses to the Conservatives, our findings reveal that most of the increases in reform support have come from 2024 Labour voters, not the Tories. Specifically, Labour's hero voters, who were a key battleground group Labour focused on during the election. Experts also specified that of the seats that are more likely to vote Reform now, almost 80% of them are currently Labour seats. Full list of Reform UK wins from Labour. Below is a list of the seats Reform UK would gain from Labour, and the margin the party would win by, according to the More in Common MRP poll. Reform UK, a political party in the United Kingdom led by Nigel Farage, made significant strides in the July 2024 general election. The party secured 5 parliamentary seats, all in constituencies previously held by the Conservative Party. This marked a pivotal moment in British politics, as the once marginal party emerged as a force to be reckoned with. Constituencies won by Reform UK. The constituencies won by Reform UK were Ashfield, Boston and Skegness, Clacton, Great Yarmouth, and South Basildon and East Thurrock. These areas were strongholds of Brexit support during the 2016 referendum. Specifically, Ashfield, represented by Lee Anderson, a former Conservative MP who defected to Reform UK in March 2024. Anderson retained his seat in a striking victory, highlighting the growing support for the party's policies and vision. Boston and Skegness, Richard Tice, the former leader of Reform UK, won this seat. Boston and Skegness is known for its overwhelming support for Brexit, and Tice's victory here underscores the party's appeal among pro-Brexit voters. Clacton, Nigel Farage, the founder and current leader of Reform UK, secured his first parliamentary seat in this constituency. Clacton, historically supportive of Farage's former party UKIP, witnessed his triumphant return to the political forefront. Great Yarmouth, Rupert Lowe, a newcomer to politics, secured this seat for Reform UK. Demonstrating the party's ability to attract fresh and dynamic candidates. South Basildon and East Thurrock, James McMurdoch represented Reform UK and emerged victorious, further solidifying the party's presence in southern England. Reasons for Reform UK's success. Reform UK's success can be attributed to several factors. Chief among them is the growing dissatisfaction among voters with traditional parties, particularly the Conservatives and Labour. Many feel these parties have failed to deliver on key issues such as immigration, public service reforms, and the full realization of Reform UK's success can be attributed to several factors. Chief among them is the growing dissatisfaction among voters with traditional parties, particularly the Conservatives and Labour. Many feel these parties have failed to deliver on key issues such as immigration, public service reforms, and the full realization of Brexit. The party effectively tapped into this discontent by focusing on issues that resonate with voters, such as border control, reducing government interference, and advocating for a complete Brexit. Reform UK also leveraged social media and grassroots campaigning to connect with voters, especially in areas where Brexit support remains strong. Impact on other parties. Reform UK's rise did not only secure them seats in Parliament but also disrupted the dynamics of other parties. In several constituencies, Reform UK split the right-wing vote, weakening the Conservatives' chances. This vote splitting allowed Labour to win some seats with narrow margins. Notably, Reform UK's presence posed a significant challenge to the Conservatives, who had previously relied on Brexit-supporting areas for electoral success. Many of these voters have now shifted their allegiance to Reform UK, viewing it as a more authentic representation of their values. Looking ahead, Reform UK aims to expand its influence beyond parliamentary elections to local levels. The party plans to target Labour's traditional strongholds, where dissatisfaction with mainstream parties is also on the rise. Nigel Farage and other party leaders have emphasized that their goal is not merely to win more seats, but to reshape British politics by advocating bold and transformative policies. Future campaigns are likely to focus on improving public services, cutting taxes, and tightening immigration controls, while maintaining a steadfast commitment to Brexit principles. Reform UK's success in the 2024 general election signals a significant shift in the UK's political landscape. With 5 parliament